Hey, what's going on? Zach D Productions here, and I'm here with a different type of video. As you could see by the title, this is not my usual content. So with that said, if you would like to see more content like this, more personal discussions like this, of course, feel free to let me know down in the comments. And I hope that this video is also somewhat of an encouragement to somebody as well, somebody that also might be dealing with what I dealt with in the past. You never know, right? And so you might be asking, Zach, what is the purpose of this? Why come out with a video like this? Well, this is something that I've been thinking about over the last couple of years now, and I've had some realizations, and I felt like I had to come to some conclusions on this and really ask myself the tough question, am I happy with myself? Which is the title of this video, of course. Now, before I give you my answer to that, I will admit that back in my teenage years and even up to my young adult years, I did have some insecurity issues and some low self-esteem issues, and especially a serious problem with comparing myself to others, which I think is something that everybody kind of goes through in some stage of their life, but I feel like for me, it was one of the more extreme cases of it, and I think it's for a couple of reasons. I think one of the things is for me is, see, I was never one of the popular kids in school or anything, but I was cool with the popular kids, I just wasn't one of them. And I also didn't have a lot of friends growing up and everything, you know, and I would see that, you know, a lot of people do. And, you know, yeah, it kind of does something to you. You know, it kind of makes you think, well, yeah, why can't I be like them? You know, why can't I be in their situation? Like, how is that fair, you know? And, you know, it's just silly things like that, though. Like when you're younger, like, you compare yourself over things that almost don't even matter. Like, I don't care about popularity anymore or anything. Like, none of that matters. And it especially got really bad in my young adult years, believe it or not, particularly in my early 20s, because I think the thing is, when you get to your 20s, you start to see a lot of the people that you've been friends with for years, a lot of the people that you've grown up with accomplish so much in life, whether that has to do with certain careers or getting married. Like, yeah, this is something that definitely does something to you as well. It makes you question yourself, like, where did I go wrong in life? What am I doing wrong? What do they have that I don't? You know what I'm saying? So these are things that, you know, that I struggled with. Like, I just thought to myself, well, yeah, why can't I be like them? And these are things that really got me down. Like, it almost got to the point where I just kind of gave up on life because of this. But, you know, there were some solutions to all of this and to comparing yourself and having low self-esteem and insecurities and everything like that. You know, and look, there's nothing wrong with accomplishing things in life, but I think the problem is, I think the problem is society. Like, a lot of people want you to think that there's something wrong with you if you don't accomplish X, Y, and Z by a certain age. Like, if you don't meet this goal by this age, and if you don't meet that goal by this age, then there just must be something wrong with you. Like, you're just not doing something right, apparently. But I've come to realize that, you know what? Life is not a competition. It's really not. Who cares what you accomplish by what age? You know what I'm saying? Like, so what if you don't accomplish all your goals in your early 20s or your 20s as a whole or whatever? You may not accomplish your goals until your 30s and 40s. It's really not a big deal. And again, life is not a competition. So who really cares? You know, who really cares what people think? And I think another problem I had with comparing myself, and part of the reason for this, is because of upbringing. And look, upbringing is everything. It has to do with so much. It's the root of it all, basically. Because I had family that would compare me to others, it's something that definitely did not help my case whatsoever. Like, even when I was trying to get away from it, like, it was tempting. Like, my family would tempt me with comparing myself because they would say things like, well, why aren't you like this? Why aren't you that person? Look at what they're doing. Look what they're accomplishing in life. Look at them. They got married and they have all their crap together. Why don't you? These are things that I would get from my own family, you know? And when it comes to my family, you know, again, it's everything. Like, upbringing, it's everything. It's the root of it all. You know, but some people need to understand that, you know, some people have advantages, first of all, that others don't have, you know? Yeah, like, even now, like, I think to myself, why can't half my family, you know, still be alive? Because a lot of my family is gone, if you didn't know that already. And I'm not even 30 yet, which is scary. So yes, that is something that I'm definitely not happy with, but it doesn't really have anything to do with my insecurities necessarily. And it determine whether or not I'm happy with who I am. It doesn't really have a lot to do with that. But when my family does compare me to others, it's something that definitely doesn't help. And I'm sure a lot of you could understand. Yeah, it doesn't help for sure. And I would be tempted with that. And I'm like, well, I'm trying to get away from this and you're kind of pushing it on me, which isn't right. So it's something that I did eventually have to break free from comparing myself. And I will get into the cure for this, at least from my perspective. The cure for not comparing yourself. For those that are wondering. Now, again, this is just coming from my perspective. It's my opinion and everything. I'm no expert when it comes to this, okay? But the thing that I learned is you have to be happy with what you have. And you have to really take a look at everything that you have in your life and the things that make you happy. And you have to think to yourself, would I really trade any of this for what this person has or what that person has? That's really the bottom line. Like, it's really the answer to it all, at least, again, from my perspective. And I've been training my brain to work this way. Like, okay, you need to stop comparing yourself to others, and you need to take a look at what you have. You need to take a look at the things that you're passionate about, the things that you love, the things that that you have in your life that make you happy. Even the people in your life that make you happy. You know? Like, would you really trade any of that for something that another person has just because it's considered, you know, the thing to do by a certain age? Just because, you know, it's considered by society to be married, that it's normal to be, that you have to accomplish, is basically what I'm trying to say, to accomplish this thing by 20, you know, that you have to be married by your early 20s, and if not, you're a loser because society says so, because, you know, maybe people on social media said so. Like, do you really care what those people think? Do what makes you happy. And look, I'm the type of person that believes that everybody has a different part to play in life. You know, not everybody's on the same path. And I feel like when it comes to certain people, particularly people in my family that do compare me to others, this is something that they need to realize. And they need to realize that, you know, for a while, they were not being that supportive. You know? So, this is one of the big things. You have to take a look at what you have and really ask yourself, would you really trade that for anything else? And one other thing, too, that's really helped with my confidence, especially, is the fact that I can actually think for myself. Because, I mean, honestly, do I really want to be like a lot of people today? Especially, you know, with how people think? You know, with how things have been over the last how many years now? Do I really want to be like a lot of people who have been indoctrinated, who, you know, have been brainwashed by their universities or whatever? Like, I'm glad I'm not like them. I'm glad I'm not like them. I'm glad I can think for myself, and I have a mind of my own. You know what I'm saying? This is one of the things that, you know, gave me confidence in made me become happier with who I am. So at the end of the day, would I say that I am happy with myself for the most part? Yes. Now, are there things that I would change if I could? Yes, but it wouldn't be by much. You know, it wouldn't be much, but with who I am, yeah, for the most part, I'm satisfied. I'm happy with who I am for the most part. So I feel like that this is really the answer. Just seeing what you have, you know, just seeing what you have, what makes you happy. And you kind of reflect on that. So I hope this helps for those of you that, you know, haven't really thought of this already, because this is something that I struggled with. And don't worry about what people think. That's all there is to say. Thank you for watching.